a win, and title number 21 is theirs. But Manchester United and Chelsea at Old Trafford next. Well, good evening. It is a pivotal moment in this title race. A win for Manchester United will take them to their 21st title with games to spare. But after the loss at Everton, there are genuine fears that Gregg Popovich could be hitting another final day's jinx. We all know that he lost the FA Cup final against Chelsea earlier, like last season, and then lost the final at the American Challenge Cup at the beginning of the end of pre-season. And there are genuine fears now that maybe Coach Pop is a bit of an unlucky subject when it comes to finals and wrapping things up. Well, they are going to try. Nemanja Matic is back at Old Trafford for the first time since he was moved on in the summer window. The one bright spot is that the last time these two met in the league, Chelsea were absolutely decimated in front of their home crowd by this red-hot Manchester United side. But since then, they've cooled down a little bit, but their loss at Everton is the first time they've lost in almost 4 months. It is a tale with many possibilities today. The Popovich's team looks like this. David De Gea starts in goal, with Fosu Mensah returning after a long absence from injury. Smalling, Jones, Maguire and Borthwick Jackson join him in defence. It's Henwood and Pogba over the kind of things to calm nerves. Sanchez plays behind Danny Williams and Alex Hunter. Chelsea today, Kepa starts in goal. And their defence is Burner with Azpilicueta, Kimpembe and Gaia as well. Kovac is with Conte and Nemanja Matic, as we mentioned at the top of the show, returning to Old Trafford. Leon is with Edin Dzeko and Eden Hazard. Eden Hazard has been rather ineffective in games against Manchester United this season. Give the ball away cheaply. Well, the FA Cup returns to the fore for Manchester United, and it's a semi-final match against Southampton. Maybe that is what on Gregg's mind at the moment. He's not taking Chelsea lightly. It's good to see. Hunter's got down. Penalty given. It's a penalty given, and that's exactly what Chelsea did not need to do. Careless penalty by Kimpembe here. And well, he takes Hunter down in the box. No complaints. And it is going to be Aaron Henwood and Paul Pogba debating it, but I'm sure Pogba's going to give it to Henwood, really. Because it's a crucial one, and Henwood normally does well in situations like this. And he thumps it. Aaron Henwood gives United the lead. Because of course he does. Ever the cool, calm, collected Aaron Henwood in situations like this. He may have just scored the penalty and gives United the title. Kepa did not look comfortable at all. He did not look comfortable. That is an error by Kepa. And the right foot of Aaron Henwood, which has been a trademark for so many years in the Premier League from 12 yards. Kepa was nowhere near him. Dreadful mistake. And you can't do that against one of the most consistent penalty takers in Premier League football. Unbelievably, that's only his 3rd goal of the league this season, but Aaron Henwood always knows when to step it up when it counts. That's been his trait since day one. United 1, Chelsea 0. The title, as of now, is going to Old Trafford. And people wondering, will Henwood break the record that Ryan Giggs set in number of appearances? He's getting there. I think he's still got a while to go, however. Gaia. Had the beating of Fosu Mensah a bit there. To Danny Williams. Oh, Danny Williams, what a pass. Paul Pogba to make it 2-0, surely. Oh, no. Paul Pogba couldn't make it 2-0. Well, it was a well-struck shot. I think it just got away from him. It's unfortunate that. It's a good strike, though. And that is the end of the first half, and Manchester United will be thankful for that, because Chelsea have been a bit of a late surge at the end of the first half here, but a mistake at their own undoing with a penalty that wasn't needed to be conceded, because Aaron Henwood was going to bury it all day, and Kepa did not cover himself in glory with the attempt at a save either, which really didn't look it. Aaron Henwood, big game DNA. Big game for Manchester United. Win, and they take the title. They lead by a goal to nil. Just didn't come off for him. Well, Chelsea in the Europa League taking on Real Betis in their next matchup as Smalling gives it away. Manchester United, of course, against Benfica next week, but not after a matchup against Southampton in the FA Cup semi-final. Oh, it's a great strike by Kovac, and again, Manchester United could see with a great strike. What is going on? It's a strange thing. You can't blame De Gea for it. And you can't blame Pereira either. It's just great strikes by the opposing team. Well, at this point, Manchester United were far and away the better team in the league. But again, more of Popovich's style of play on that one. Well, Harry Maguire is unlucky. David De Gea is even more unlucky. Again, another good strike. And it means that the title is put on hold, at least for now. Chelsea have brought it back level. It's 1-1, and you never count Manchester United out until the final whistle. And once again, Manchester United on the verge of winning cannot get the job done. It's only a draw and only a point for Manchester United. And the Aaron Henwood penalty is cancelled out. But United having no attack in the second half almost at all. It's a strange one, isn't it? Manchester United are certainly a strange team. They play well, but they can see goals somehow. And the title party is put on ice, only at least for now. United won, Chelsea won. So that was actually the only game today. Now, title race is a lot more interesting. Manchester United are heading into a weekend where they will be playing in the FA Cup semi-final against Newcastle, giving the entire pack down from them a chance to catch up as they all have a game in hand. This title probably should have been over, but it's not yet. And it remains tense at the very least. FA Cup semi-final time, one game away from redemption for Gregg Popovich. Well, he's got to get past Southampton first, and Manchester United have been firing all cylinders recently. Manchester United take on Southampton in the FA Cup semi-final. Next. Well, we're at Wembley Stadium. It's a semi-final, and it's the FA Cup. The one cup that Gregg Popovich was oh so close to winning last year. And much like sometime last year, Manchester United really kind of just fell behind. And it looks like they're doing it again. Over the last couple of games, they've not really been firing on all cylinders like they would usually. So Southampton will certainly smell an upset on the cards. While in the other semi-final, Everton, who beat Manchester United a few games ago, are taking on Arsenal in the other fixture very soon. Well, our focus is on United. And just what does Gregg Popovich do to get his team out of his slump? What they did at the 3-game losing streak that they suffered at the beginning of the season is just power through it. And he says, we're going to do that again. But it's rather unfortunate how this blip has hit us now. But this is a chance to show we're still in it. Well, United not firing on all cylinders as we said, but certainly, as Greg said in the conference, definitely a chance to put things right today. McCarthy will start in goal. He's with Semric, Shimiza, Ventonga, I think. Yeah, Van got there. Max is down there as well. Ward-Prowse is with Lemon Hulberg, and then Lucy and Mina is up front.
Thank you for attending.
For Manchester United, David De Gea remains in goal. Victor Lindelof is with Bai and Marcus Rojo. Scott McTominay is with Herrera, Tahith Chong, Wilfred Zaha, my apologies, and Jesse Lingard. Alexander Isak is with Anthony Martial up front today. So, an interesting lineup by Popovich. Certainly in the inclusion of Alexander Isak. We mentioned during the Chelsea game that he's not really been lighting it up as a Manchester United player. Obviously, the rise of Marcus Rashford and his budding partnership with Anthony Martial might have just put him down in the pecking order anyway, but he's not really made much of an impression to move forward in that pecking order. Speaking of Marcus Rashford, he has returned but only to light training. And will he be out for the rest of the season? Will Gregg Popovich be forced to bring him back earlier than he would like? It's not something he's known for, but they are really missing Marcus Rashford's input in the last few games. Lingard whipping a ball in towards Martial, slides in and misses. Over gets it back, and Isak has missed again. He just cannot catch a break, Alexander Isak. He tries his best, but he still can't put the ball in the back of the net. And Herrera. Lingard is onside. Jesse Lingard! 1-0. And finally, United break through. And it's Jesse Lingard in the FA Cup again, isn't it? This man loves this competition. And he gets United another goal. But we now understand, really, that Manchester United do need more than one goal. There's a great shot by Lingard, to be fair. An absolute perfect. It was probably much the copy of Alex Hunter's goal against Everton. It drew United level that day. Here, it gives United the lead. And right on the stroke of half-time. United 1, Southampton 0. Southampton 0, Manchester United 1 officially. But this is a neutral ground, so whichever way you dress it up, the result is pretty much the same. Isak. Again, just nothing doing for him at the moment. Forward pass again. Over to here. Catches that one that time, and that is the end of the first half, in which Manchester United finally seem to be having a ray of sunlight in this one. Jesse Lingard, the FA Cup master, scores another one for his impressive collection, and it gives United the lead in this fixture. Southampton 0, United 1. If he was to avoid Arsenal, they do take on Everton. And Arsenal are one of the very few teams that have beaten Manchester United this season, but also Everton have as well. Alexander Isak just cannot catch a break in a Manchester United shirt. Alexander Isak.
Substitution for Southampton.
Really unfortunate recently. Martial to Alexander Isak. Gets plucked away. He keeps trying, Isak, doesn't he? You've got to hand it to the lad. But his head must be on the floor. Martial. Brilliant move. Isak! McCarthy denies Alexander Isak again. Keeps on pushing. Isak will surely get a goal at some point. The way he's playing just keeps on trying. And Herrera with the corner. Lindelof. Herrera puts it back in. Lindelof heads forward. McTominay. There's a flick over the head of Schlimsler. 3 minutes of added on time. United have been rather comfortable really in the second half. Southampton haven't really threatened. United have bombed forward, but it is definitely the show of proof that Marcus Rashford is definitely being missed at Manchester United. They're not banging the goals with such a rate that they used to. They are scoring, but they're not over-scoring, and Ward-Prowse Almost forcing extra time there. Ward-Prowse probably should have looked for better options. Although they do go in from time to time. Armstrong is limping, and that's unfortunate because Armstrong was actually the player that got subbed for an injury. But Manchester United, they have finally got a win after a bit of a barren spell. But you certainly are seeing Marcus Rashford's lack of input, because United are scoring but not nearly as much as they used to, but they'll take a scrappy 1-0 win today. It was certainly the best played of the last couple. Jesse Lingard, the FA Cup master, getting another goal for his collection, and that was the only goal of the game, and that was really the only real action too. Manchester United plugged away in this one, and finally there's a bit of a breakthrough and a bit of a tough period for them. They are FA Cup finalists for the second year in a row. Southampton 0, Manchester United 1. Well, we've known that it'll be a Premier League final for some time now, but this could be the matchup of the season. Manchester United will take on Arsenal in the FA Cup final, both most recent winners of this competition. Arsenal twice in the last 6. Manchester United last win, of course, a few years ago under Louis van Gaal. They are both known winners, and what a matchup this will be on a day of redemption possibly for Coach Popovich.